Hello, I'm Owen from Redbrick Sport, and today I'm interviewing Timon Burford, President of Cool Runnings. Hi, how are you, Timon?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Brilliant. First of all, what is Cool Runnings? Tell us about the society.
Okay, so Cool Runnings is the largest sports club at the university, and we are the university social running club, and we are affiliated with the university's athletics club, but instead of being a competitive club which competes against other universities, we just focus on getting people running and improving our members' abilities as runners. And we've been operating for a good few years now. I think 7 years we've been operating. Don't quote me on that, but we've we've been operating for a while. Definitely a lot longer than I or anyone that I know have been at the university for.
How have you found the first few weeks of your presidency, especially with the COVID crisis?
I've been doing work for the club since the handover of the presidency occurred all the way back in July, I think. And there's a lot of work that needed to be done over summer, organising a committee, making sure we get to know each other. And we needed to create risk assessments, to plot up a schedule. So yeah, we've been working quite a while. That being said, we've had to obviously recently work a lot harder than what we were doing over summer when our sessions actually began on the 28th of September, and planning sessions and organising them and trying to have some sort of welcoming sort of events and stuff like that.
You mentioned a schedule and sessions there. Can you give us an idea about what a week as a Cool Runnings member is like?
In a typical week, well, there aren't many typical weeks now we've got COVID, but typically we have a 2-week sort of program, and then we rotate our timetable fortnightly. Basically, we'll have a schedule for week 1, 3, 5, and then another schedule for week 2, 4, and 6. We host a great variety of sessions, even though we've had to change some stuff due to COVID. And on average, prior to the outbreak, we would host typically 4 sessions a week. And these vary from group runs to indoor circuit sessions, as well as interval sessions, which are a slightly different form of outdoor running, as well as track events. We've had to make some changes to the timetable this year, but I think as a club, we definitely schedule a lot of sessions. So I do think members get their money's worth.
Why is Cool Runnings the perfect club then?
Okay, why is Cool Runnings the perfect club? Well, I would have to say that it's our pressure-free environment. We never push members. We never expect any athletic ability from members. And that's not just something we hold close to our sort of ethos on committee, but we also try and ingrain that in the mindset of our ordinary members, not to be judgmental, not to be overtly competitive, and not to put fellow members down. So I really think that as a club, not just on committee, we've really sort of built this welcoming and pressure-free and judgment-free sort of environment. And that is why I think we are so popular. Most of the members that do apply have had some form of, they've got into running themselves in their free time, and they come to us because they want to get some form of coaching or have some sort of motivation to run on a more regular basis. But we do get real beginners who have never sort of run socially, but come along to the club because they feel it's their best chance to get into running and to improve their fitness. And we do have special programs that help to cater to them.
Are there difficulties in managing a club where it's like a very mixed ability group?
Of course, yeah, it's a real challenge because we cater to, as you said, a massive variety of abilities. And for me, that can be quite challenging because there are definitely members of the club who are far better runners than I am as president. And you feel, I definitely feel, and Cool Runnings has always felt that we want to allow gifted members to progress and be able to push themselves and to develop their own abilities. We never want to hold anyone back. And it can be challenging trying to accommodate to all those abilities. We have different distances. We have, for our group runs, we have 3K, 5K and 8K options, and this has traditionally sort of been a good way to separate beginners maybe from more established runners. With often some people may start on a 3K, and progress up the distances to running at 8K weekly or twice a week. And in recent times, I have often said to members who perhaps have wanted to get into the athletics club first, then have been turned away by the main athletics club and have come to us. I do often say that as a club, we can provide somewhat of a gateway into the competitive branch of the athletics club. And we have, going on top of that, we have thought about organising longer distance and higher intensity sessions, particularly to market towards people who are thinking of running half marathons or even marathons, as that's not been something that we've done previously, but that's definitely something we're planning for the future going forward.
You said earlier that it's a very popular club and it's very successful. It's won awards, I believe, in previous years. Do you feel a bit of pressure yourself to keep that success going this year?
Yeah, well, I'd love to win a few awards myself. Do I feel pressure? Absolutely. I think that's a good thing for me, and I think it's a good thing for all of us on committee. We have definitely had a big pair of boots to fill, if you will, from the great work that previous committees have done. Last year's committee was a phenomenal committee, and I think the real key to what will make us a good committee, and then that will feed into how we do as a club on the whole, is sort of building a good chemistry between us. And that can be quite a challenging thing when you're not meeting fellow committee members in person as much as you would be because of the pandemic. So I would definitely say the key to what makes us a good club is fostering a good chemistry between us in committee and us being able to work well with each other. And I think that's the key, really.
Have you put in place any big changes this year that you think are going to take the club forward?
It's been tough to implement new stuff because of COVID. As I've said to my committee members, our primary focus really at the moment is to get sessions running as close to normal and as close to how they were run last year, rather than maybe implementing some of the ideas that we've got. Well, we've thought about a few things to sort of spice up the Cool Runnings calendar, if you will. We definitely want to have more of a focus on trail running and exploring different areas in the West Midlands. We've thought about taking our runs out of the Selly Oak area and maybe hosting weekend runs in places like Worcester or Cannock Chase, sort of mix up the calendar a little bit. But we have definitely been stifled because of the pandemic in implementing a lot of the stuff that we wanted to do previously.
You said there about being stifled. I assume not being able to do the normal amount of social activities away from the running has made getting new people in more difficult?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, we have not had an issue getting new people in, surprisingly enough. And I think this is because of a variety of reasons. It's a shame that we don't have our socials. We can't hold socials in the same way that we've done in previous years. But I think as a running club, and running as a sport is a very accessible sport, and it is a sport that people can take up in their free time by themselves, that I don't think our socials are a massive sort of pull to new members or to prospective members. socials are great for keeping people involved in the club and sort of building a club atmosphere and a club identity. But I think if anything, the pandemic may have helped us get new members, because of course a lot of people have taken up running in their free time during lockdown. That is because running is a very accessible sport, and it's a sport that you can do on your own, and it's a great way to stay fit. And I think a lot of people have become a lot more conscious of health and fitness since the start of the pandemic. And I definitely think that shows in the turnouts that we've been getting recently, because we've never had to regulate numbers for taster sessions, and that's something new that we've had to do. I mean, for our first 5K on Monday the 28th, so that was just people who turned up for the 5K distance. We were also running 3K and 8K options at the same time. We had 120 people turn up for that 5K run, which is an incredible number. I mean, normally we would probably get around that number for all three of those respective distances on the first week of the first semester. So I don't think that we have been affected in terms of demand or membership because of the pandemic. If anything, I hate to say it, because it's such an awful thing that's happened, our demand and popularity has probably gone up as a club, I would say.
That's, at least there's some good news from this.
Yeah, some silver lining.
Yeah, it's good. What is your favourite running experience? Be that a place or even like an achievement, a race you've been involved in?
I'd have to say I'll have to go back quite a while to sports day at school, and my great success at sports day. I was never very sporty as a kid, and I was pretty bad at a lot of sports, mainly because my coordination was never fantastic. But obviously, when it comes to running, that's not really a big factor of what makes you a good runner or not. So one of my happiest memories concerning running is during the year 9, 10 and 11 sports days at secondary school, where any distance that I was running, I was basically winning for my house. And the first few years, everyone was really shocked. They were like, I didn't think this guy had any athletic ability, but he's winning everything. And that's definitely something that stuck with me. And I used to go out for mile-long runs leading up to sports day, because I really saw it as my opportunity to sort of put my name out there and sort of prove to people that I could achieve stuff in the athletic field. So yeah, that's where my love of running's really come from. But I think anyone can become a pretty decent runner as long as they put the time and practice into it. And it's the accessibility as well. And running is a very equal sport. It's one of the very few sports where men and women can both compete in longer distances on a fairly level basis, and age as well. I mean, you can have people up to the age of 60, they're in good fitness, running just as well as a 16-year-old. So I think the accessibility and equality of running as a sport is definitely something that's got me interested and sort of been a big motivating factor for me to take running more seriously and to make it a regular part of my life.
Have you got any final words for somebody who's watching this and thinks, yeah, I think I might join? What's your last big sell for the Cool Running Society?
Well, I came up with a slogan. Cool Running's helping you to pursue your passion for running at your own pace. And I think that sums us up quite well. Come along to Cool Runnings. We can help foster your love of running, or if you don't previously love running, we'll make sure that you love running and getting out and taking part in races and stuff while doing it at your own pace and in an environment which is comfortable, accepting and judgment free. And I think that's really a big part of our ethos. And I think it's that our ethos which is the main pull and the main attraction, I'd say, to our club.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Timon. It's been great speaking to you, and go well.
Thank you.